Hello everyone, welcome to the session. मैं सीरीज आरंभ करिचे ओडिशा इंटरस्टेट रिलेशंस रो ओडिशा सहित तार नेबरिंग स्टेट मानकर गोटे ओवरऑल असेसमेंट बा रिलेशंस जोटा हमर ओपीएससी मेंस जीएस पेपर 2 रे प्रोवाइड कराई छी तार विषय जानिया पे तो लास्ट आम गोटे नहीं करथिले ओडिशा वेस्ट बेंगल रिलेशनशिप तो निश्चित भाव में किछटा पॉइंट्स यूजफुल थिबो तो जो मैंने भी ओसीएस एस्पिरेंट्स सो ए वीडियोटा को देखिबा दरकार ठीक अछि एवं तार असेसमेंट सब करिवो शॉर्ट नोट रखिदबो कोन कोन एरिया रहउची जोटा कि सिमिलरिटी बिटवीन द टू स्टेट्स व्हाट आर द डिस्प्यूट एरिया व्हाट आर द common areas that they cooperate each other and what are the existing relationship historical कौन perspective रहउची एबेका कौन संपर्क रहउची एवं केमती कौन करा जाई पारि वे फॉरवर्ड से विषय आमे कथा हो ठीक है आज अछि ओडिशा छत्तीसगढ़ रिलेशनशिप ओके so before that as usual we have a very inspiring quote of the day forget the mistake, remember the lesson. Okay, we all commit mistake, but it is wise to learn from those mistakes, not to be frustrated. Rather, mistakes are teachers. They will teach you कि कौन टा भूल रही थिला जोटा कि तुम्हें मिस्टेक रही छी बा भूल ही गला एवं आर्थर को आउ से भूल हबनी त मिस्टेक्स फॉरगेट कर देवा कथा त लेसन सुरो सिखिया कथा ठीक अछि त आरंभ करिवा आज फैक्ट अच्छी एससी एसटी प्रिवेंशन ऑफ एट्रोसिटीज एक्ट 1989 जोटा गोटे मेजर एक्ट फॉर द प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट ऑफ एसटी गुड मॉर्निंग गुड इवनिंग बनिता यस वेरी रेगुलर ओके एवं जो एससी एसटी रही अपन देखिए जो एक्ट अच्छी 1989 जोटा कि बहुत इंपोर्टेंट एक्ट फॉर द प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट ऑफ एससी एंड एसटी एवं इटा दुई थर आमेंड होइछि 2015 और 2018 रे आमेंड होइछि टू मेक इट मोर स्ट्रिंजेंट मोर कठोर रिजिड करिबा मोर इफेक्टिव करिया पय सेटा को आमेंड कराइछि इट इज द मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट एक्ट रिलेटेड टू द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ शेड्यूल कास्ट एंड शेड्यूल ट्राइब तो आरंभ करिबा ता पूर्व मु इंट्रोड्यूस करछि तुमको हमर दुईटा प्राइम बैच जोटा कि हमें देखुचे तपस्या जोटा हमें देखि परछ तपस्या जोटा अछि तो सेटा तुमरो बेसिकली मेंस आंसर राइटिंग जो थ्योरी आउ प्रैक्टिकल जो आंसर राइटिंग ऊपर स्ट्रेस दिया होची खाली क्वेश्चन आंसर लिखिबा सह विभिन्न प्रकार थ्योरेटिकल पेपर जो चैप्टर रो समराइज्ड वे रे ताको एक्सप्लेन करा होची तो दिस कोर्स इज लाइव आल्सो स्टोर रे लाइव अछि दोज आर इंटरेस्टेड टू जॉइन दे कैन जॉइन द कोर्स ओके अनदर इज प्रतिष्ठा बैच प्रतिष्ठाटा होची हमर कोन प्रतिष्ठाटा होची हमर फाउंडेशन बैच जोटा अपन मन देखिबे कि जो माने ओसीएस पई कैरियर नबा को चाहुचंती ओसीएस रे तो दे कैन जॉइन द कोर्स एंड बिलीव मी यू विल फील द डिफरेंस ओके सो यू कैन access this batch it is foundation pre mains and interview batch and if you join while joining you can use my code y963 जोटा मो कोड अछि y963 को यूज करले तुम्हें डिस्काउंट पाइबो you can use my code y963 for that एवं जो माने ऑफलाइन नबा को जदी बा किछि गाइडेंस नबा को चाहू छ ऑफलाइन रे तो you can contact my number जोटा कि मो तुमको कहि दूची कि you can contact my number on that number की जोटा हमर कहूचे 9348798237 रे you can contact me on this number for any offline guidance if you are living in Bhubaneswar if you are here so you can seek my guidance on this number calling me on this number you can get in touch with me okay wish you all the best आरंभ करिबा में so सिस्टर्स ऑफ महानदी को छत्तीसगढ़ और ओडिशा जे देखिबा छत्तीसगढ़ और ओडिशा छत्तीसगढ़ पूरा वेस्टर्न रु सर्दर्न पर्यंत बॉर्डर रे टच करची इट इज द एक्सटेंसिवली रिलेटेड टू ओडिशा जते भी नेबरिंग स्टेट अछंती ता टू सबुठारो अधिक एरिया सहित लिंक अछि माने आई थिंक ओडिशा हैज द लार्जेस्ट बॉर्डर विथ छत्तीसगढ़ स्टेट ओडिशा रो छत्तीसगढ़ सहित लार्जेस्ट बॉर्डर अछि सो एंड हिस्टोरिकली जदि आम देखा ऐतिहासिक दृष्टिकोण जो देखा माने प्राय तो एकाठी थिले गुप्त डायनेस्टी रे मान सब गोटे राज्य बा गोटे किंगडम रो अधीन रे थिले एवं इवन ब्रिटिश समय भी किस दिन सेंट्रल प्रोविंसेस रे पार्ट रे ओडिसा रो वेस्टर्न पार्ट सेंट्रल प्रोविंसेस रे थिला परे संबलपुर सेपरेट हिची त माने हिस्टोरिकली the two states are connected geographically, are they are very much connected, and also in case of trade and commerce देखिबा हमें जो मुंबई एक्सप्रेस वे बा हाईवे जोटा पास करिछि दीटा जाक स्टेट देखी एवं दीटा जाक मिनरल बेल्ट कॉमन अच्छी तो ओडिशा एंड छत्तीसगढ़ have more geographical regions, historical regions, and your other aspects to be related to each other. Though there are certain minor disputes over the Mahanadi River उपरे किछिटा recent dispute जदियो आसीछि किंतु ओवरऑल रिलेशनशिप छत्तीसगढ़ सहित बहुत उत्तम अछि बहुत अफोर्डेबल अछि तो से विषय आज नजर देबा दी जन जा कहउचंती बोथ ऑफ सिस्टर्स ऑफ महानदी एवं they are exploring the intertwined history, shared culture and complex relationship of Eastern and Central India. Okay, so we'll come to that point. Okay, Odisha and Chhattisgarh, you can see that the border is very much longer with Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh सहित ओडिशा रो गोटे अधिक मात्रा रे बॉर्डर अछि जोटा कि अन्य स्टेट सहित एते नाही तेनु सेति पई तांकर इंटरमिंगलिंग टा बा रिलेशनशिप टा आउरी स्ट्रांग आउरी ड्यूरेबल मोर माने स्ट्रांगर देन अदर विथ अदर स्टेट्स ठीक अछि ओडिशा छत्तीसगढ़ एवं जोटा हमें देखि परछ ओडिशा रो जदि हमें देखिबा ओडिशा रो जोटा अछि जदि पॉपुलेशन कथा तो हमें जानी ओडिशा रो पॉपुलेशन जोटा रहिला कि जोटा हमें आगे सब क्लास रे कथा होचे तो एरिया अच्छी एवं इटा 8th लार्जेस्ट स्टेट 11th मोस्ट पॉपुलर स्टेट से हिसाब रे जदि हमें देखिबा छत्तीसगढ़ टिके छोट हबो ओडिशा टू छत्तीसगढ़ इज लेस एरिया रे लेस अछि 1,35,190 पर स्क्वायर किलोमीटर अच्छी और पॉपुलेशन देखुचे ओडिशा टू कम अच्छी ओडिशा पॉपुलेशन एरिया रे छत्तीसगढ़ 9th लार्जेस्ट एवं पॉपुलेशन रे 17th लार्जेस्ट तो पाखापाखि दुटा जाक स्टेट अच्छा जदि ओडिशा रो एरिया और पॉपुलेशन किछि मात्रा रे कम अधिका अच्छी ठीक अच्छे तो दैट इज द थिंग्स एवं तुम देखि पड़ो कि जो ओडिशा रो बॉर्डर एरिया जो मुझे देखुली आउ क्लोजली देखि पड़छ एटा तो अधिक बॉर्डर शेयर करछि के ओडिशा सहित छत्तीसगढ़ शेयर करछि कैन प्लीज लुक एट दैट एरिया तेनु निश्चित भाव में ओडिशा रो अछि तेनु त माने they share a unique relationship the modern political boundaries okay and historically they are part of यदि हम देखिबा historically they are part of Gupta and Marathas, Guptas, जो अच्छी these two states are linked by geography, demography, culture. They are linked by geography, demography and culture. ये जो point उरा टिके मन रखियो जोटा कि तुमको लिखिला बेले the two states are closely linked to each other demographically, geographically and culturally. They are often referred to as sisters of states. These are contiguous tribal belts, similar linguistic dialects, border areas, and shared dependence on the Mahanadi River. So why are they called sister states? They are called sister states because of similar linguistic dialects. पाखापाखि भाषा जो ओडिया मिसल लाहिरी ना गोटे भाषा अच्छी तो सेटा उभय हिंदी और छत्तीसगढ़ हिंदी ओडिया मिश्रण तेणु कॉमन लिंग्विस्टिक डायलेक्ट्स सिमिलर लिंग्विस्टिक डायलेक्ट्स और बॉर्डर एरियाज आर कॉमन and they are also dependence on Mahanadi River, so they are historically linked to each other. Okay, so we shall see कि how their historical और economic relationship केमती अच्छी देखिबा तो से जो पॉइंट रो अंडरलाइन करछि ताकू टिके नोट्स करिवो ठीक अछि and you can see that geographical connectivity उपरे हम जे देखिबा they share both the states have are part of Eastern Ghats. The Eastern Ghats, both the states are dominated by Eastern Ghats and the Deccan Plateau extensions. The lost forest of Dandakaranya across southern Chhattisgarh, Bastar district and southern Odisha. So Dandakaranya जो lost dense forest that spans सेटा उभय छत्तीसगढ़ और ओडिशार एरिया को कवर करछि सर्दर्न बस्तर जिले में छत्तीसगढ़ ओडिशार कोरापुट और मालकानगिरी रे से जो दंडकारण्य फॉरेस्ट अच्छी तामाने दे हैव जियोग्राफिकल कनेक्टिविटी in terms of eastern ghats. Both of the states are part of but dominated by eastern ghats and an extension of the Deccan Plateau. तामाने एटा कहयार कथा होची कोन ना छत्तीसगढ़ एंड ओडिशा शेयर. नमस्कार प्रदीप्त धीरेन्द्र यस ठीक अच्छे. पॉलिटिक क्लास टाइम टेबल माने कम बुझ पने बाबा को टाइम टेबल अच्छा व्हिच टाइम टेबल कहउछंती ठीक अच्छे. एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट बोथ ऑफ द स्टेट्स आर ड्रेन्ड बाय महानदी जोटा हम देखुचे डिफाइनिंग जियोग्राफिकल फीचर इज द महानदी रिवर बेसिन्स originating in the Dhamtari district of Chhattisgarh. It drains into massive both the states, a massive area both flowing with the river of Bengal and Odisha. The basin is known as the river bowl for both the states. तेणु धमतरी जिले में originate है महानदी ओडिशा दे की पास करी बे ऑफ बेंगल रे मिसी. तेणु दी जनक पई महानदी रिवर बेसिन टा गोटे राइस बाउल बेली कुहाउची भात हांडी बेली कुहाउची कारण बोथ द स्टेट्स हा डिराइव देयर एग्रीकल्चरल इनपुट्स फ्रॉम फ्री यूट्यूब टा 5 pm और यूजुअली 5 pm धीरेन्द्र 5 pm रे बट रेगुलर नहीं बस वीकली 3 दिन 2 दिन 3 दिन 4 दिन एमती हुए मेन्स पे ये चली ठीक अच्छे. फ्री यूट्यूब क्लासेस टा से 5 pm to 6 pm ठीक अच्छे. तापर क्लाइमेट एंड एग्रीकल्चर विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू क्लाइमेट एंड एग्रीकल्चर बोथ द स्टेट्स आर सेम but both the states have common experience. Both the states experience a tropical monsoon climate with the summer and significant rainfall. They share climate drives and similar agricultural cycle predominantly focusing on paddy cultivation which influences festival and lifestyle. तामाने Chhattisgarh and Odisha have similar geographical position but similar geographical conditions and they are connected but they have both the states have eastern ghats and also an extension of Deccan Plateau. Then it depends ता अर्थ कौन ता अर्थ they enjoy but they have similar geographical conditions. So तो geographical conditions same होगा cultural attributes festivals same होगा. And another aspect of geographical connectivity is that they are both of them are largely drained by Mahanadi rivers. Originating from Dhamtari district in Chhattisgarh, the river substantially flows through both the states before draining into the Bay of Bengal. So Mahanadi is the lifeline of for both the states, and it is also the Mahanadi river basin which spans over both the states are regarded as the rice bowl of both the states. And another thing is the climate and agricultural practice are same. Both of them enjoy tropical monsoon climate with a hot summer and heavy rainfall. So usually the agricultural cycle is same in the states. And both the states focus on paddy cultivation. So we can say that the geographical connectivity of both the states binds together them, and there is a bonding, there is a bond between the two states. The bonding is stronger between the two states because of geographical climatic similarities. Is that clear? So that is called geographical connectivity. Then you can see that the long contiguous border. I have told you that Chhattisgarh by Odisha shares its longest border with Chhattisgarh. So long contiguous borders. Odisha shares its western and northwestern boundary with Chhattisgarh. This border is just not a line of map but a porous zone for cultural and economic exchange. The longer the border, the more cultural and economic exchange because people of both the state, दीटा राज्यर लोक माने परस्पर कनेक्टेड रहती. सो स्टेट बाउंड्री गुड़ा तो पूरा फॉरेन कंट्री नुह जे पूरा बंधा ही रोचे कहीं जापर तेणु इंटर बॉर्डर पैसेज रोचे आमर कारण आमर गोटे कंट्री तेणु फ्रीडम ऑफ ट्रेड एंड कॉमर्स भी आम देश में अच्छी तो इट्स नॉट लाइक अमेरिका से जेहेतु लंगर द बॉर्डर मोर कल्चरल एंड इकोनॉमिक एक्सचेंज हो सहित छत्तीसगढ़ सहित से लिखो सब द स्टेट शेयर ओडिशा शेयर्स longest border with Chhattisgarh. So as the border is longer, so there is more economic and cultural activity seen among the people of the both the states. दीटा जगह राज्यर सांस्कृतिक और आर्थिक कारोबार अधिक हुए कारण बॉर्डर अधिक अच्छी ठीक अच्छे. द की डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स ऑफ ओडिशा है बरगढ़, झारसुगुड़ा, सुंदरगढ़, नुआपड़ा, नवरंगपुर, कलाहांडी एंड मालकानगिरी. एंड इन छत्तीसगढ़ यू कैन सी रायगढ़, तापरे महासमुंद, तापरे गरियाबंद, धमतरी, कोंडागांव, बस्तर, सुकमा. Remember the district. So always remember the input. Input टा सब मन रख मो क्लास रे भी सेटा कहूँ कि तुम्हें एंटायर गोटे पीडीएफ नहीं कि ताको सब पढ़नी तुम्हें इनपुट पूरा मन रखी. ओके छत्तीसगढ़ रो जियोग्राफिकल कनेक्टिविटी पॉइंट लिखिदेल, ईस्टर्न रीजन, महानदी रिवर कनेक्टिविटी. ओके तो यहाँ गोटे क्लाइमेटिक एंड एग्रीकल्चरल सिमिलारिटीज यहाँ गोटे पॉइंट रखिल. तापर को जिला गुरा छत्तीसगढ़ और ओडिशा को जिला गुरा बॉर्डर कर तुम्हें देखिपे बरगढ़, झारसुगुड़ा, सुंदरगढ़ आउ कौन जो आमर नुआपड़ा, मालकानगिरी, कलाहांडी एगुरा सब रोचे ठीक अच्छे. तापर सेमती छत्तीसगढ़ जोटा रोचे रायगढ़, महासमुंद, गरियाबंद, कोंडागांव, बस्तर, सुकमा. Okay, so these are the borders. People in these border districts often speak mix of Odia, that is Laria. So Laria is a language spoken in the border area, which is a mixture of Hindi and Odia. A mixture of Hindi and Chhattisgarhi. Laria ta hochi kono? Laria ta hochi Chhattisgarhi, jota ki especially similar to Hindi, Chhattisgarhi and Odia. छत्तीसगढ़ी प्लस ओडिया रो सिमिलरिटीज रोज ताको लारिया भाषा कहउछन. त माने as the border is longer, so people have developed a dialects. The over the years there is a dialect called Laria, which is spoken by the border people both from both the states and share marital alliances. There is marriage alliances and especially among the tribes from both the states. So there is marital relationship and blurring the distinction between the two states. Okay, so these are the result of what? Contiguous long border. Okay, so examine the major points that relate to both the states. These are going to state रो major point कौन अच्छी सेटा टी मन रखी तुम interstate relation ऊपर भल लिखि परिबो. तो अगर सीटा गोटे एवरेज आइडिया रख कि को जिला सहित कहार संपर्क अच्छी एवं लॉन्ग बॉर्डर इलाका कौन होची ना पीपुल स्पीक ए पर्टिकुलर लैंग्वेज दैट इज लारिया जोटा कि हमर छत्तीसगढ़ी और ओडिया रे गोटे सम्मिश्रण एवं दे हैव मैरिटल टाइज मैरिटल अलियंसेस वैवाहिक संपर्क रही दीटा स्टेट रो कारण पाखे जेतु अछंती एंड द ब्लरिंग डिस्टिंक्शन दैट ब्लर्स द डिस्टिंक्शन बिटवीन द टू स्टेट्स. The people on the border area don't know what is Chhattisgarhi by Odia, but they have a cultural link and familial link, marital link. So that strengthens the bonding between the two states. So that is contiguous border, geographical similarities, contiguous border aggressive. And Mahanadi is the lifeline of both the states. As I told you, ki Mahanadi is the lifeline. Mahanadi meaning the great river originates from Shiva mountains in Dhamtari district, जोटा कहले छत्तीसगढ़, is flows north then eastwards from through Chhattisgarh, entering Odisha near the Sambalpur district. It is the sixth largest river in India, serves the primary source of irrigation, drinking water, electricity for millions in both the states. So it is the lifeline. Why? काहे की lifeline? Now it serves as a major source of irrigation, drinking water and electricity. It serves as a major source of irrigation, आउ कौन से irrigation, आउ drinking water और electricity for both the states. Therefore it is called lifeline of both the states. ठीक है. तापरे historical ties देखियो. Ancient जदि हम इतिहास देखिबा तले both the states are part of the कोशल the region of comprising modern day Chhattisgarh and Western Odisha was known as Dakshina Kosal or South Kosala. This kingdom is mentioned in Ramayana and Mahabharata. तो जो कोशल साउथ कोशल दक्षिण कोशल एमाने भाग थिले वेस्टर्न पार्ट ऑफ ओडिशा एंड छत्तीसगढ़ उभय को मिसे कि दक्षिण कोशल ऐतिहासिक समय रे बा हिस्टोरिकल टाइम रे सेटा कुहाउतला एवं श्रीपुर इन छत्तीसगढ़ was a major capital of this region. The art and architecture of Siripur show a striking resemblance of the early temple architecture found in Odisha, indicating unified school of art that predates the modern state divisions. Okay, Siripur रे जो आर्किटेक्चर देखा जाए दैट ओडिशान कलिंगन आर्किटेक्चर स्टाइल सेठी देखा जाए तेणु द हिस्टोरिकली ऑल्सो द टू स्टेट्स वेयर पार्ट ऑफ द सिमिलर किंगडम सो दे हैव हैड more cultural historical affinity than other states. Okay, so Odisha and Chhattisgarh have more cultural by historical affinity than with other states. So seita hi major jinsa, they were part of the Kosala dynasty. Okay, and the Somavanshi dynasty connection was there. So the Somavanshi dynasty, which is credited with building some of the Odisha's temple, Lingaras temple in Bhubaneswar, originally held from the Siripur region and Chhattisgarh. So they came from Siripur region of Chhattisgarh and they were the builder of monumental structure in Odisha like Lingaras temple. And migration eastwards, these Kalchuria of central India जो प्रभाव रे सोमवंशी माने कोस्टल एरिया को पड़े आसते एवं कोस्टल एरिया रे निजर आधिपत्य विस्तार करते दैट मीन्स व्हेन दे came to coastal area they brought also the culture and the practices which are found in coastal areas. The Somavanshis are responsible for tying the two tastes historically. So set out a major jinsa and later they established from Siripur to they split Binitapur, Binaka and Jajati Nagar jota hame Jajpur koche and later in Kotak Somavanshi. So that links effectively unifying the culture of Mahanadi Valley. Somavanshi and other dynasties are responsible for unifying the two states. Okay. Then you can see the Panduvanshis also, they were usually the Buddhist propaganda माने बुद्धिस्ट एवं जो ललित गिरी उदयगिरी जो सब अच्छी तो सेटार कनेक्टिविटी टा छत्तीसगढ़ सहित अच्छी. You can see that the period saw a unique synthesis of religious tolerance between Buddhism and Hinduism. The legacy traveled downstream along the Mahanadi, influencing the Buddhist sites in Odisha like Ratnagiri and Lalitagiri, creating a spiritual corridor. So Somavanshis are also ambassadors by the carrier of the religious culture to Odisha, and they are also responsible for historical knot between the two states. Somavanshis. Okay. Now you can see the administrative divide. जो टाइम देखिबा कि the British Raj समय they were part of the central province until Sambalpur was separate. Sambalpur जेते पर्यंत separate न होइतला से पर्यंत वेस्टर्न ओडिशा आउ छत्तीसगढ़ जो अंचलटा अच्छी सेटा सेंट्रल प्रोविंस रो अधीन रे थिले जोटा को मध्य प्रदेश पर कुआला. दे वर पार्ट ऑफ द सेंट्रल प्रोविंस हेडक्वार्टर्स इन नागपुर रे थिला व्हिच इंक्लूडेड एंड इट वाज आल्सो अपन संबलपुर अपराइजिंग 1905 रे थिला. दिस पीरियड a shared administration under the central provinces. So both of them shared administration, similar administration for a long period of time until Sambalpur got separated from central province. तेणु तामने administrative similarities भी दी जनक स्टेट भीतर थिला. Language controversy, the Hindi's Odia language agitation. Hindi versus Odia language was the British replacement of Odia with Hindi as the official language sparked the movement that eventually resulted in the unification of Odisha. The Hindi language controversy was earlier when in 19th century जतले British हिंदी भाषा को संबलपुर रीजन बा वेस्टर्न ओडिशा रे इंपोज करेले सेतबेले कंट्रोवर्सी हेतला एवं ओडिया भाषा को रिस्टोर कराइतला 1905 मसिया रे एवं सेइटा भी ओडिया स्पीकिंग ट्राट को एकाठी करिवार गोटे खोराक जोगैतला. सो दैट लेटर resulted in the political unification of Odisha state. Okay, so that is called your colonial separation समय सेटा थिला ठीक अछि तापरे the demographics both the states share a considerable section of population or tribes that is the most usual similarities between the two states दी जनक राज्यर पाखापाखि गोटे भल शतकड़ा बहुत परसेंटेज लोक ट्राइबल देखिए जदि आम छत्तीसगढ़ पाखापाखि 30.69 बा 30 पॉइंट बा 31 पॉइंट एंड एठी हमर 23 पॉइंट हम पाखापाखि 22.8 तमाने उभय राज्यर गोटे बहु परिमाण रे बा गोटे कंसिडरेबल सेक्शन ऑफ पॉपुलेशन ऑफ ट्राइब्स सो एज दे बोथ have a considerable section of tribes so they have certain similarities with regards to tribal culture and tribal style of living the demographic similarities shapes the socio-political narratives of both the states focusing on forest rights welfare and preservation of indigenous culture so as the both the states have considerable section of population as tribes so they share similar demographic similarities एवं जेहेतु से मानकर सिमिलर डेमोग्राफिक सिमिलारिटी अच्छी तेणु बोथ द स्टेट फोकस ऑन कौन फॉरेस्ट राइट्स प्रिजर्वेशन ऑफ इंडिजिनस कल्चर एंड वेलफेयर तेणु सिमिलर अप्रोच रहा कारण जेहेतु उभय राज्य में कंसिडरेबल सेक्शन लोक ट्राइब रहिले बोथ द स्टेट्स आर ट्राइबल स्टेट्स बट ट्राइबल डोमिनेटेड स्टेट्स से अप्रोच भी सेम रहा इन केस ऑफ कौन फोकसिंग ऑन फॉरेस्ट राइट्स and preservation of indigenous culture of the tribals and welfare of the tribal people are the main targets of planning in both the states. So सेटा होची similarities tribal population type similarities. Then shared heritage. Okay. But the tribal belts are contiguous. The Dandakarani region serves as the homeland for tribes that do not recognize their state borders in their social interactions. They share demography leads to similar challenges regarding healthcare, education and development in remote areas. So Dandakar region रे जो लोग रहिले जो tribal रहिले they do not recognize state borders. They are interacting and they have marital link, marital relationship, and both the people from both the states know each other. sans boundary without boundary so semane jannanti ki Chhattisgarh kout arambo Odisha ru kout arambo they have a cultural affinity they have a marital affinity they have similarities and they interact with each other as if they belong to the same region so that is also a point similar heritage so Dandakaranya stands as an example of similar heritage which is shared by both the tribes of both the states so ita भी गोटे शेयर हेरिटेज रहुची तांकर दंडकारण्य region टा ठीक अछि and these tribes are common you can see the Gonds are very common tribes which inhabit both the states the largest tribal groups in India and they are primarily cultural bridge between Odisha and Chhattisgarh the Gonds ruled large parts of the region Gondwana historically the distinct art Gond plating religious practice and social structures are found in Bastar region of Chhattisgarh and Koraput and Kolahan districts of Odisha. So Gond stands as a connective point between the two states. The tribe is the largest, one of the largest tribal groups in India and they inhabit both the states. Means they inhabit in Bastar district of Chhattisgarh and Koraput and Kolahan district of Odisha. So Gonds represents the unity and connectivity between the states since time immemorial. So that is also there and they have similar structure are found in Bastar. So Gond tribes is example of connectivity. Okay. Then other shared indigenous देखिवा यदि Orans and the Porojas and there are also the Bhatras. These are the tribes also inhabit both the states and they share similar culture, similar practice, religious practices which also binds the two states together and both the all these tribes have their marital link, cultural link and togetherness. So that also in turn by indirectly indirectly that is a bond between the two states. कारण ए राज्यर जो रहिले बा ओडिसा जो माने ओरान्स रहिले कि जो ट्राइब्स रहिले से माने सेठी जाउछन्ती से माने टिके आछन्ती सो कल्चरल एक्सचेंज होउची एवं मैरिटल नोट्स भी अछि सो they do not think that they belong to two states, rather they think that they belong to same community. So tribals do not consider boundaries, political boundaries as a limit between them. So that tribal culture, the continuous tribal culture that goes beyond the boundary of each states is also an example how the states are culturally and culturally, religiously, and from time immemorial they are linked with each other. So only political boundary is drawn to show their political separation, not cultural, religious and popular separation. People are connected because of these tribes represent both the states, they inhabit both the states. So there are Gonds, there are Oraons, there are Porojas and there are Bataras. So cultural impact, the shared communities ensure that the folk music, dance and daily lifestyle in the border areas remain remarkably similar. Okay, so these tribes, Gonds and Porojas and your Oraons and Bhataras, they share similar culture, folk music, dance, daily lifestyle. So that means both the states are similar. So they feel that they are a community without boundaries. So political boundaries has not separated them. And as such, ଆମ ଦେଶରେ ରାଜ୍ୟମାନଙ୍କର border ଏତେ tight ନୁହଁ, but we have freedom of trade and commerce, we have freedom of movement also. Because as you know, we have adopted single citizenship. So there is not a issue at all. Ki passing from one border to another will not have any issue. But in America there is an issue. So our constitutional provision B facilitates close relationship between the neighboring states. So सेटा गोटे मेजर जिनस अदर शेयर लिंग्विस्टिक कम्युनिटीज गुरा सब रहिछन्ती ठीक अछि. And Nuakhai and Nobakhai, there are two similar festivals are observed in both the states. Nuakhai in Western Odisha is very popular and it is also declared as a state holiday in Odisha. So and also Nobakhai is also popular in Chhattisgarh. Is the most important agrarian festival. It is the agrarian festival. It is the agrarian festival observed in both the states and celebrated. Welcome the new rice of the season. It involves offering the first crop to the presiding deity, that is Samaleswari and Danteswari in Bastar. So similar practice, Nobakhai and Nuakhai are the same practice. The new crop is offered to the deity, and here in Sambalpur, goddess Samaleswari, and in Bastar by in Danteswari in Bastar region, the mother goddess is offered with new crop, and that is known as Danteswari in Bastar region in Chhattisgarh, and we have Samaleswari, Ma Samaleswari in Sambalpur. So both the states observe similar types of agrarian festival every year. Okay, and the ritual of Nuakhai Bhetghat, where the elders are respected, differences are forgiven, is observed in both the region, highlighting a shared value system rooted in agriculture and community cohesion. During the Nuakhai, the elders, members of the family are respected and deferred, but they are respected and deferences by सम्मान तंग दिया जाए. तो इटा both the states, ता माने both the states are culturally linked. They share the same value system rooted in agriculture and cultural cohesions. Okay, only political boundaries is drawn to separate them politically. That's all. Okay, so they have a very close link in terms of agricultural festivals, practices, community cohesion and tribal culture. Okay. So then we can see that the Pola Pola festival celebrated extensively in Chhattisgarh and Western Odisha. Pola is a festival dedicated to cattle farmership. So this is also an example of common festival observed in Chhattisgarh, some parts of Chhattisgarh and western parts of Odisha. And there is Hareli also. Hareli festival is greenery, is the first festival of the year Chhattisgarh, making the beginning of the season. Similar rituals are observed in Odisha border districts, and where the farmers worship their farm equipment and pray for good monsoon and abundant harvest. I think it is Akshay Tritiya in Odisha in coastal part also. And like similar festivals like Gama Purnima is also observed, nahi ki? So mane tamane eti kon dekhiau chauchi ki both the states observe similar festivals in similar seasons because their geographical climatic similarities achi. So only with different names, only nomenclature differs. नारे केवल पार्थक्य अछि कि नले प्राय दुई जन स्टेट दीटा जाक स्टेट सिमिलर कल्चर सिमिलर पर्वपर्वाणी बा सिमिलर क्लाइमेटिक जोगु से माने सम भाव रे सेम बा समान पर्वपर्वाणी समान सांस्कृतिक जो जीवन यापन करि थांती तो सेटा उटे मेजर जिंस एटा उटे पॉइंट मन रखियो टिके ओके and your Jagannath cult beyond Jagannath, Lord Jagannath is also has its tremendous presence in Chhattisgarh. It is not confined to the coastal part of Odisha. It is part in central and western part of Odisha. It is most popular cult, and the deity is observed. Lord Jagannath is not just the deity of Odisha, but is deeply revered in Chhattisgarh as well. Jagannath temple in Raipur that you can see on the photo, one of the oldest, and Rath Yatra is celebrated with immense fervor. So Jagannath cult also stands as a point by connective link by bonding, as a gesture of bonding between the two states. The cult is not only very much popular in Odisha, but it is also as popular as in Chhattisgarh, as popular in Odisha as in Chhattisgarh. And the Jagannath temple in Raipur is the symbol of how Jagannath cult has united these two states. So say that you Jagannath cult is also a point. Historical record suggests that Jagannath culture spread upstream along the Mahanadi. Many rituals in Chhattisgarh's temples mirror the those of Puri and showcasing the spirit of ritual hegemony of Jagannath cult in entire eastern and central Indian belt. So बहुत सारा जगन्नाथ टेम्पल रे जो तांकर जो पूजा हुए बेस हुए मंदिर रे पूरी मंदिर रे सेमती भी छत्तीसगढ़ रो अनेक टेम्पल रे सेमती करा होची त माने द स्प्रेड ऑफ जगन्नाथ कल्ट इन द होल ईस्टर्न एंड सेंट्रल पार्ट ऑफ बेल्ट also includes Chhattisgarh. So Chhattisgarh also represents a place for Jagannath cult and worshipping the Lord Jagannath. ठीक है, Jagannath cult is also a connectivity, is a gesture of connectivity between the two states. Then you are the classical grace sculpture, the temple of Odisha, and you can see Odissi originating of the temples of Odisha, one of the India's classical dance. It is characterized by Tribhanga. While Odissi is the cultural ambassador of Odisha, it has found significant patronage Chhattisgarh urban centers, and also Odissi has its presence in Chhattisgarh, and in most urban areas in Chhattisgarh, Odissi dance is taught and is also taught to thousands of students there, and there is historical roots in the temple tradition of South Kosala. Okay, so Odissi is also a connective link, although Odisha is considered to be the cultural ambassador of Odissi dance. Okay, Panthi, the spirit of Chhattisgarh. Panthi is highly energy folk dance indigenous Chhattisgarh. Okay, in contrast, the slow grace of Odissi, Panthi involves aerobatic movements, pyramid. So there is also, there is many folk dance in Odisha. Panthi is a popular folk dance of Chhattisgarh, which is has some similarities with Odishan folk dances. Okay, then Sambalpuri and Nauta Nacha जोटा हमें कहूचे कौन folk dances of Odisha, Sambalpuri और डालखाई and राउत नाच बा कर्मा ये दिटा similar. So folk dance रे बहुत सारा similarities अछि छत्तीसगढ़ और ओडिशा विषय folk dance रे जंती Sambalpuri dance in Odisha, western Odisha, and राउत नाच in Chhattisgarh. They have similarity. They share striking similarities in rhythm and instrumentation and costumes. So this is an also example of how the two states are connected culturally. The folk dances of both the states have similar rhythm, similar instrumentation and similar costumes. That means they are part of one idea, they belong to one idea, one concept, one cultural ideology. So both styles heavily use the mandar and dole drums. The Karma Nacha is performed by tribes in both the states and Karma festival celebrating. The shared folk traditions create seamless cultural and other regions. So Bargad and Raigad, they are same. So where the drummer from Bargad, Odisha can easily play along such a with a dancer from Raigad, Chhattisgarh. So it will be a bhalo point likhibo. A drummer from Bargad district in in Odisha can easily play along the dancer from Raigad district in Chhattisgarh. So that shows how culturally they are linked, strongly linked to each other. Okay, so these are the example. Okay, and there is also linguistic continuum. Koshali Sambalpuri language spoken in Western Odisha and Chhattisgarh is spoken in Chhattisgarh are linguistically close. Both belong to Eastern Hindu by Indo-Aryan group and share significant vocabulary. So you can see that there is linguistic connectivity continuum bhi achi di jano bhitere. Koshali spoken in Sambalpur in Western Odisha and the Chhattisgarhi spoken in Chhattisgarh are linguistically close to each other with same accent and the same vocabulary. So they belong to the same language family, that is Indo-Aryan group. So that also shows how the two states are historically, linguistically, culturally connected to each other, connected with each other. And there is also literary exchange, or both regions often reflects the similar themes of rural life, nature. Laria is a term often used to describe the dialect spoken on the borders. Laria, Laria, which is a fusion of Odia and Chhattisgarhi, facilitating easy communication and trade. So Laria is the bonding. Laria is an example of bonding between the two states, and it is the combination of both Chhattisgarhi and Odia. So that shows facilitating that the language is used on the border area of both the states. So connecting the two states in terms of language. Okay, in terms of language. So you have seen ki the states are related close to each other in many aspects. Okay. Then the economic ties, mineral wealth spans both the regions share the same mineral belt, coal, iron ore and bauxite reserves. Okay. The means their economies are similarly structured and heavily reliant on mining and heavy industries. Both the states share the similar iron, coal and your bauxite belt, and their economies are also similarly structured depending on the mining and mineral heavy industries. Okay, so that is also a point. The Ib Valley coalfields in Odisha are geographically continuous with the Mand Raigad coalfields in Chhattisgarh, creating. So, one example भी अच्छी कि इटा जो Ib Valley coal regions टा Raigad coalfields सहित continuous अच्छी. So they have both, they share, but they are located on a similar mineral belt zones and having coal fields and spanning over both the states, iron ore mines spanning over both the states, and also bauxite. So they are minerally, they have economic ties because of minerals. They are located on the same mineral sites. Okay, industrial dependence bhi achhi, the continuous, they have equal steel production for they both the states are dependent on each other for industrial productions. You can see that for steel production, for thermal power, for aluminum refining, both the states are dependent. So the national economy, major companies like Jindal Steel and Tata Steel have operation of or interest spanning both the state, treating the region as a single economic block for resource planning. Their interconnected steel plants in Odisha often source coal from Chhattisgarh, while power plants on Chhattisgarh depend on the on Odisha for power supply. So steel plant of that depend on Rourkela and others, they are connected. So they are both industrially dependent. Both the states are industrially dependent. Okay. And also the connectivity जो हम कहते the Howrah Mumbai main passes through the both the states Jharsuguda and Bilaspur Chhattisgarh सहित pass करछि तेणु they have connectivity link also. Howrah and Mumbai express also connect, and this route is one of the busiest flight corridors in India, transporting coal and minerals. The connectivity facilitates the movement of thousands of passengers, including students, workers. So that is also a point to be noted. Ki they have transport connectivity, railway and road connectivity, which also connects the states together. And the Howrah Mumbai main line is a token of connectivity between the states. Is an example of road connectivity in the states, which binds the two states together. The railway networks. Okay, so that is also an example of how the states are related. Okay, connectivity road networks, national highways. So that is NH53, which was in NH6, connects to Kolkata to Mumbai via Sambalpur and Raipur. The highway is economic backbone facilitating the transport of goods. So now the new number on 53 connectivity jo national highway that connects Kolab to Mumbai. It passes through Sambalpur and Raipur, and that is highly a economic backbone of the two states, and facilitating transport of goods and people. Okay, also another is NH59 connects Gopalpur part in Odisha to Raipur. So that also provides Chhattisgarh with a crucial access to the sea. The development of Biju Expressway in Odisha further enhances connectivity of both the states, promising to boost trade. So they have both trade and commercial economic ties. So the railways through the railways they are interconnected, and through various national highways they are also interconnected. So NH53, NH59, they stands as a connector, but road connector between the two states, facilitating interstate trade and commerce, and also helps in cultural and economic exchange between the people of the two states. So that you have to remember ki NH53 and 59. The bus service, State Transport Corporation also runs frequent bus services connecting major cities like Bhubaneswar, Cuttack, Sambalpur, Raipur, Bhilai, Bilaspur. Private operators also dominate this route, reflecting the high volume of daily commuters. So there is also private bus services run from one state to another and vice versa. So that means both the states have well connection, but they are well connected by road and railways. So that also contributes to the already strong bond between the two states. So that you have to remember that both the states have road connectivity, railway connectivity, and facilitates not only exchange of goods and services but also of culture and other aspects of human lives. And that is the major dispute area now. Only dispute area between Chhattisgarh and Odisha is Mahanadi River. So what is the claim of Odisha? That Mahanadi रो जो सोर्स पार्टा जो महानदी उत्पत्ति होची सेठी छत्तीसगढ़ बंध बांध दोची बा ड्राई पानी आसी जाउची तेणु दैट अफेक्ट्स so the relationship between the major strain होची एटा महानदी रिवर्स. The conflict intensified when Chhattisgarh constructed several barrages like Kalma, Saradi in the upstream catchment area. So एटा ओडिशा क्लेम करची कि से जेतु अपस्ट्रीम रे बंध कर देछि जो जेंति हमर कलमा साराडीह ए सब बंध बांध दे तेनु पानी बेसी आसुनी. किंतु छत्तीसगढ़ कहूची कि आमे बहुत कम फ्रैक्शन ऑफ पानी यूज करछु. एमति तो ओडिशा बहुत नष्ट करछि किछि करि परनी एवं सेरा सब बे ऑफ बंगाल रे ड्रेन हि होछि. सो बोथ द स्टेट्स हैव disputes on this area रे अछि Even Odisha belong to downstream riparian state raised the alarms that the structure obstruct the non-monsoon flow of the river, threatening the livelihood of farmers in the coastal districts and the storage levels of Hirakud Dam. से कौच जो नॉन मनसून रिजन जेहेतु से बंध बांधु तेणु पानी आसुनी से कोस्टाल रे जो एग्रीकल्चर हुए बेसिकली डिपेंडिंग ऑन द वाटर एंड हीराकुद डैम रे भी पानी फ्लो कमी जाए. सो दिस इज द क्लेम ऑफ ओडिशा. एटा मु देखौतली तुमको. सो ओडिशा कहूची कोन ना ओडिशा जो अपस्ट्रीम इंटरसेप्शन ऑफ वाटर हैज ड्रास्टिकली रिड्यूस द फ्लो इनटू हीराकुद रिजर्वोयर्स. एटा छत्तीसगढ़ कहूची जे इट हैज द राइट टू यूटिलाइज द वाटर generated in its catchment area and for own agricultural and industrial needs. They argue that they are utilizing only a fraction. जोटा कहली से माने आर्ग्यू करछन्ती कि आमे मात्र गोटे किछि परिमाण रो पानी यूज करछु एवं सबु पानी ओडिशा को जाउछि एवं ओडिशा ताको यूटिलाइज करि पानी that are being drained into Bay of Bengal. So that is the bone of contention, the supply of water. So upstream रे जे रहिला तो निश्चित भाव रे सेटा कोन अपस्ट्रीम रे जे रहिला जे ऊपर रहिला नदीर उत्पत्ति स्थल रे तार टिक एडवांटेज रहे तेणु सी छोट जेतु पानी फ्लो से कम तेणु सी बंध बांधी पानी रोकदेले लीन सीजन रे नॉन मनसून सीजन रे पानी आसीबा बंद हो जाए. तो सेटा ओडिशा क्लेम करछि कि छत्तीसगढ़ जेतु बंध कालमा आ से जो देखले साराडीह जो डैम बांधी देछि किंतु ओडिशा क्लेम करछि कि नाही ए जो छत्तीसगढ़ कहछि कि हमें किछि फ्रैक्शन मात्र यूज करछु. And Odisha is not there utilizing only a fraction share of their share, and that Odisha waste water draining into the sea. Odisha utilize करि पानी एवं से पानी गुरा नष्ट कर. So these are the two stands. But दी जनकर कथा हला एटा ये कहूची पानी बंद हे जाउची बेले हमें पाउनु ये कहउचनी पानी हमें कम यूज करछु किंतु जत्ते छाड़छु तुमे ताको यूज करि परनो सेटा तुमे सेटा unnecessary Bay of Bengal को जाउची. as all of you know कि महानदी drains into Bay of Bengal. So that is the bone of contention between the two states, and for this purpose a tribunal has been appointed also. Okay, 2018 as you know Mahanadi Water Tribunal, and interstate river water disputes are decided by central government, and a tribunal is established under Interstate Water Dispute Tribunal Act. Okay, 1956 बोले सेतरे एक्ट हुए एवं एटा होची हमर लास्ट ट्रिब्यूनल गठन होची महानदी रिवर वाटर ट्रिब्यूनल 2018 जहार चेयरमैन थिले तो कोन एम खान विलकर थिले जे कि वर्तमान बदे लोकपाल अछंती. तो सेटा वर्तमान जदियो एटा फाइनल हेनी कारण लीगल बैटल द ट्रिब्यूनल हैज नॉट गिवन इट्स फाइनल जजमेंट दैट इज टू बी सीन. बट कोटना कोटी सेटा दउची कि while legal battle continues, there is a growing realization that political and cooperative resolutions is essential for long-term sustainability given the erratic monsoon pattern affecting the entire basin. तो एबे जाना पड़छि कि राजनीतिक एवं जो सहयोग सहभागिता बल रे एक कथार समाधान हो परिबो. ट्रिब्यूनल जहा कहूची कहू से मान जदी बसी कि दी जन तो निकट रे भी विषय स्टेप निया जाई ओडिशा सरकार तरफ रु. सो द बैटल इज नॉट सो टफ एते माने किछि अफेक्ट करिनी ओडिशा छत्तीसगढ़ रिलेशनशिप को. द कंटिन्यूअस द बॉन्डिंग स्टिल कंटिन्यूज. द एक्सचेंज ऑफ कल्चरल एक्सचेंज, इकोनॉमिक एक्सचेंज एंड कनेक्टिविटी जो बॉन्डिंग बिटवीन द टू स्टेट्स स्टिल remains as usual unaffected despite the legal battles. So it is realized now कि there is more than legal intervention is required in this case. So political and cooperation the cooperative solution is essential ବୋଲି କୁହାଉଛି. So that means it is going to be settled soon, and this apart from this dispute the state does not have any common disputes nor the border disputes also. Okay, so this is the only battle they are fighting, and it is a lost battle already. The battle has lost its weight, no more. So in 2018 रही, and there has been 7 years since the tribunal has been appointed, but no such final verdict has come. But now it is realized that there is more a solution required than legal battle. There is a need for political and cooperative solution to this issue for sustainable relationship between the two states. Okay, another the community security, the red corridor is a shared insurgency. It is not a cause of dispute, rather it is a shared insurgency, because se jo कौन कहते ताको लाल कॉरिडोर से जो रेड कॉरिडोर जो द हब ऑफ नक्सलाइट्स नक्सल मानकर जो हब एरियाटा इट स्पान्स फ्रॉम वन ओडिशा टू छत्तीसगढ़ एंड वाइस वर्सा. सो दुईटा स्टेट रेड कॉरिडोर अच्छी कारण सेटा से रिजन अच्छी. सो ओडिशा एंड छत्तीसगढ़ आर पार्ट ऑफ द रेड कॉरिडोर फेसिंग द चैलेंज ऑफ लेफ्ट विंग एक्सट्रीमिज्म. द dense forest on the border district of Malkanagiri, Sukuma, Bastar have historically been safe harvest for insurgents. So it is the common issue they share. It is the common problem they face from. Both the states have common problem, and both the states suffer threats, but face threats from the red corridor. So it is a common issue. It dispute no, rather it is a common issue both the states are grappling with. So सेटा तुम मन रखियो. And the shared security threat has necessitated the close coordination between the police and forces of both the states. Joint operations and intelligence sharings are routine to combat the insurgency. So it has been a blessing in disguise. So as they are part of, both the states are part of Red Corridor. So there is a interaction and a cooperation and coordination between the police force of both the states. And they are interacting, they are connecting with each other, involving in joint operations and intelligence sharing on a routine basis to combat insurgency in the so-called red corridor area. So red corridor is a token of bonding, by a way of bonding between the two states in disguise. Then also the tourism Buddhist circuit, that is also both sides feature similar brick architecture of sculpture. So it has got immense potential to develop unified Buddhist tourism circuit connecting Siripur in Chhattisgarh with the Diamond Triangle. So there is a need for connecting these triangles with road connectivity, so that the bonding between the two states will be more strengthened and will be more stronger than it is now. ठीक है, सेटा से कहूँ कि बुद्धिस्ट कॉरिडर्स. सो सिरिपुर रु डायमंड ट्रायंगल रत्नगिरी उदयगिरी ललितगिरी सहित डेवलप करिवार अछि. बोथ साइड फ्यूचर, ओके, दैट इज आल्सो पॉइंट ऑफ फ्यूचर पर्सपेक्ट्स. एंड आल्सो नेचर ऑफ टूरिज्म, वाइल्ड लाइफ कॉरिडोर, वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरीज ऑफ सुनाबेड़ा ओडिशा एंड उदंती सीता नदी in Chhattisgarh are geographically contiguous, forming a vital tiger and elephant corridor. Both the states are similar in respect of that. The ecotourism initiative could protect their habitats, so there is a need for certain areas to act for strengthening the bond between the two states, like tourism, like the Buddhist connectivity with Siripur and the golden triangle. सेटा जो अच्छी जोटा हम देखुथिल सेटा एरा होची कोन एरा सब प्रोस्पेक्ट इन व्हाट वे दे कैन हैव ए द डायमंड ट्रायंगल. So there is promoting this as a single Mahanadi Buddhist heritage package could attract international tourists, leveraging the historical link. So the Siripur diamond triangle सहित connectivity stronger करा जिवो बा tourist promotion करा हबो, ताले it will act as a Mahanadi Buddhist heritage site, and that package will attract international tourists. Those who are lover of Buddhism, follower of Buddhism will come to Odisha, and it will enhance by increase the international tourists, thereby bringing more revenue earnings for both the states, and will facilitate in the economic development of both the states. So there is a prospect for developing the Mahanadi Buddhist heritage from Siripur to Diamond Triangle, Lalitgiri, Ratnagiri, Udayagiri, for example. That is also a prospect Odisha both the states can work on. And there is also a prospect for nature tourism, by ecotourism promote Korea pay, as both the states share geographically contiguous. So the joint ecotourism initiatives could protect the habitats from generating revenue, promoting jungle safaris that span across the borders would offer unique experience of the central Indian highlands, showcasing the pristine beauty of the shared belt. So there is a prospect for promoting ecotourism, and that you can say the jungle safari in both the states, like in from that Sunabeda Wildlife Sanctuary to the Udanti Wildlife Sanctuary, there is a prospect also. Okay. So this is how we have seen ki how these how these two states can interact with each other. So there is a way forward I have written ki the relationship between Odisha and Chhattisgarh is complex, woven with threads of deep cultural affinity, modern resource, while the Mahanadi disputes remains friction point. The shared history and culture, economic destiny bind them together. The future lies in cooperative federalism, leveraging their shared mineral wealth, tourism potential and cultural heritage to drive growth for the people of both the states. So they have more prospect for bonding, strengthening their bonding than any point of friction. Only Mahanadi river water dispute is a friction point, which is now losing its weight by losing its repercussions. So it is no more a big issue between the two states, and both the states have more prospect for interstate relationship or durable and affordable relationship. Okay, so both the states should focus on cultural ties, promotion of ecotourism, and promotion of cultural festivals among the states, and that is the Mahanadi Buddhist heritage corridor should be also developed, so that the relationship between Chhattisgarh and Odisha will go a long way in future. Okay, so this is all about your Chhattisgarh and Odisha. So you have seen that ki the state ro bahut plus point अछि, culturally केमती से माने historically केमती linked थिले समवंशी समय बा से जो राजा मान थिले तांको सहित केमती थिले एवं ब्रिटिश समय भी they were part of the central province. And then there is linguistic, cultural, economic similarities between the states. There is also similarities between their geographical location. So they have more similarities than very negligible dissimilarities. So there is a great prospect for kind of greater relationship between these two neighboring states in India. Okay. So this all about this session, and I will be bringing another session on the relationship between Odisha and Jharkhand in the next session. So keep watching my YouTube channel, YouTube session at 5 p.m. Okay, every week. Okay, thank you very much, and God bless you all.